Chapter 45 Carter in the 1970s. General Ford and Nixon pardon. Nixon's original VP, Shapiro Enel, as you knew, had resigned in 1973 because of the bribery and tax scandal. General Ford was the first the only VP to be appointed with the consent of Congress. When Nixon resigned, Ford became president. Ford's early decision made him seem a little suspicious as well. Ford pardoned Nixon for any crime he may have committed during his presidency. Ford reasoned that it would help the country move on, but Americans couldn't understand why Nixon shouldn't be punished, pardoned, released from liability of an offense. Ford stirred up more controversy by offering amnesty, general pardon, to people who dodged the draft during Vietnam, escape, avoid. Amnesty, an official pardon for the offense or group of offenders. Ford was unsuccessful at fixing the poor economy he inherited even after he froze prices, called on Americans to save money and cut taxes. On the plus side, Ford signed the Helsinki Accord, a step toward detente in the Cold War, a list of rules to follow to help communication between the Communist bloc and the West. Election of 1976. The Democratic Party nominated Jimmy Carter, former governor of Georgia. He had an appealing image as an ordinary and honest man. This quality helped him win, but he made it difficult for him to put his plan into action once he arrived in Washington. For example, Carter announced the National Energy Plan in 1977 to help solve the energy crisis, but some people say he wasn't tough enough to get the support of Congress. Carter cut and later raised the taxes, coming across as indecisive. The economy suffered from stagflation, high inflation, interest rate, and unemployment, which led to little to no economic growth. Carter supported alternative energy sources, but was politically hurt by an incident at the 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant in March 1979. When an overheated reactor released radiation into the environment, amid protest, the president continued to support nuclear power to reduce the U.S.'s reliance on oil, alternative energy, an energy source that is not fossil fuel. Jimmy Carter and human rights. President Carter achieved success in his foreign policy. He rejected real politics, saying that he couldn't compromise his ideal regarding equality and human rights. Carter curtailed, reduced U.S. relations with South Africa to protest the apartheid regime. Apartheid, the rigged policy of segregation in South Africa from 1948 to 1994. He signed a treaty with Panama in 1977 to allow the country to gain control of the Panama Canal by the end of the 1999, as long as it remained a neutral waterway. He condemned the USSR's violations of human rights, even though that hurt the Cold War detente. On the plus side, Brezhnev and Carter signed the SALT II treaty in June 1979, but it was never formally ratified by the U.S. In December 1979, the USSR invaded Afghanistan. In protest, Carter made the controversial decision not to send the team to the 1980 Olympic Games in Moscow. The Camp David occurred. Carter's greatest achievement was in 1978 when he invited Muhammad Anwar al-Sadat, the president of Egypt, and Menachem Begin, the prime minister of Israel, to Camp David. The president retreated in Maryland. They agreed on the Camp David Accord, which led to a peace treaty being done between the two nations, the first ever Israel-Arab treaty. Iran hostage crisis. A revolution was brewing in Iran, the US's other major Middle Eastern ally. The ruler of Iran was Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, a pro-America leader who was thought to be corrupt. In early 1979, supporters of Ayatollah Khomeini, the religious leader, overthrew the Shah and instituted fundamentalist religious rule. In November, with the new government support, students in Tehran took over the city's U.S. embassy. Embassy workers were held hostage for more than a year. Carter's inability to resolve the crisis gave him a reputation as an ineffective leader.